Joining me now, former Assistant Vice Chief of Staff of the U.S. Air Force, retired Lieutenant General Richard Newton. Thank you, as always, for being here. I want to talk about the attack at the apartment complex in Dnipro, where dozens of innocent civilians have been killed, specifically the weaponry that was used. This is an area you know a lot about. Talk about the systems the Russians used in this attack.
Well, good morning, Marni. That attack on Saturday, my sources tell me there were actually 5 Kh-22 supersonic cruise missiles, which were originally designed back in the 60s for anti-ship targets, but nonetheless they were launched by a few of, I'm reported up to 5 Russian backfire bombers and hit a apartment building, as you described, killing upwards of 40 people and wounding many more, up to 75 or 80. That is to me, used as a weapon of terror. It's going against civilian targets. As General Milley said on Monday, as he's traveling to Europe, that is a war crime. And so it's, again, continues to be out of Putin's playbook to go after civilians and civilian infrastructure, because there are very few pages left in his playbook to try to succeed in the conflict.
We'll get to Milley in a moment, since you brought that up. But the accuracy of this type of missile, you mentioned that it's pretty dated. Is it possible that the target was something else, unintended to hit this apartment complex, or do you think that this was on purpose?
No, I believe it's on purpose. There was no military utility target in the region, in that location at all. And so he's trying to terrorize the Ukrainian civilians, much as he's done since you and I have been talking since the middle of October. I mean, this barrage of missiles, either be it ballistic missiles or short-range missiles, or now these supersonic cruise missiles, he's going after civilian targets. And oh, by the way, this Kh-22 missile, the first use of it in combat has been during the Ukrainian conflict. And he's launched more than 200 of these Kh-22 missiles that Ukrainians have no defense against. And that's why it's so important now that we begin to provide Ukraine the Patriot missile batteries, and they're beginning to train Ukrainian soldiers at Fort Sill in Oklahoma right now, just for this missile and this threat against the Ukrainian people.
So the Patriot defense system can shoot these things down.
That's correct. It can. It's a very complex system. It's a very capable system. And in the hands of the Ukrainian air defenders, I believe it'll be very effective against these type of missiles, and also other ballistic missile threats that we're going to see to continue to play, again, from that Putin playbook for the months ahead.
Can't come soon enough. All right, to Milley now. On Monday, the U.S. Army General Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, visited the training site for Ukrainian soldiers. This is in Germany. Right now, there are more than 600 or so Ukrainian troops that are training there. Why is that visit of interest, of importance?
Well, it's significant. First, the first significant aspect of this is that we are now training 500 plus, or 600, as you articulate, Ukrainian soldiers for what we call combined arms. Those combined arms would be for tanks, for artilleries, for combat vehicles. And General Milley is visiting that training site in Germany to take a really strong look and also represent the U.S. resolve, as well as the U.S. military's efforts and the NATO efforts to train these Ukrainian soldiers, which will be about a battalion-size force that will be put into battle. It'll take somewhere between 5, 6, 7 weeks. This is new training for the Ukrainians, so it's going to take several weeks to do so. But then again, having General Milley there as a chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff is very important to see this training. And then on Friday, there'll be the contact group led by Secretary Austin that will review the supply and training, so forth, or the resupply, if you will, that's needed for Ukraine in the coming months.
Russia is looking for help anywhere they can get it. They're not finding a lot, but there are these military exercises taking place with Belarus. How concerning is that?
I'm concerned about that, because they started this on Monday. They're doing air training exercises with Belarus to include bombers and fighter-type aircraft. These training exercises will be conducted from, as I mentioned, Monday through the 1st of February, I'm told. And so it could be a prelude for flying operations out of Belarus. As if you look at the map, Belarus is from the north. Ukraine has been focusing mainly on the east and the Donbass region, and the south towards Crimea. But nonetheless, if you put another front, in this particular situation could be an air front from the north, that could be very troubling. And so Putin is trying to raise the game, and I think whether or not we see air assaults from Belarus is to be seen, but the prelude to that is certainly conducting these air exercises.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.